Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most pressing issues facing South Africa today, the ongoing energy crisis, and the sharp political exchanges that have come with it. Recently, Julius Malema, the leader of the economic freedom fighters, took aim at President Cyril Ramaphosa's message on leadership, particularly criticizing how the current government is handling the country's power supply challenges. Malema's comments came during a rally in Limpopo, where he did not hold back in drawing a direct comparison between the reliability of Eskom's electricity and the dependability of the government itself. He boldly stated that the kind of leadership people need is dependable and enduring, just like himself, but said Ramaphosa's leadership vanishes like Eskom's power during load shedding. This comparison struck a chord, especially among South Africans living in rural areas and informal settlements, who have borne the brunt of frequent power outages and infrastructure failures for years. The energy crisis in South Africa is more than just technical difficulties, it is a deep-rooted political issue that affects millions. Eskom, the state-owned power utility, has been plagued by mismanagement, corruption, and financial woes, resulting in unreliable power supply that disrupts daily life and economic activity. For many South Africans, especially those from disadvantaged communities, power cuts are not just inconvenient, they are a barrier to education, healthcare, and basic comfort. Malema highlighted that this crisis disproportionately affects Black communities, emphasizing that unreliable electricity is a form of systemic neglect and political marginalization. According to him, decisions about who receives power and who remains in the dark are not accidental, they reflect broader inequalities in how resources and services are distributed. This is a significant point because it frames the energy crisis not only as a service delivery failure but as a political statement on who holds power and who is excluded. One of the most poignant parts of Malema's speech was his appeal regarding the elderly. He reminded the crowd that many older South Africans live on small social grants and welfare support. It is unjust, he argued, for these pensioners to be burdened with paying for electricity when they are struggling to survive. Malema passionately insisted that electricity should be free for those living on grants, stating that no one should have to pay to cook their meals or keep warm when they are already financially vulnerable. This resonates deeply in communities where the cost of living is rising, and many families are forced to choose between food and electricity. The EFF stance on electricity access goes beyond rhetoric. For years, the party has advocated for the nationalization of Eskom, aiming to bring the power utility under complete state control to ensure equitable distribution. They have also pushed for investment in renewable energy sources, particularly off-grid solar and other sustainable solutions that can provide power to low-income and rural communities that are often neglected by the national grid. Malema reiterated these commitments in his speech, promising that under EFF leadership, electricity would not only be accessible but also free for the poor and marginalized. This promise is part of the party's broader vision of social justice and economic transformation. By framing electricity as a basic human right, the EFF challenges the current status quo and positions itself as the champion of the underserved. However, this bold stance comes with its challenges. The South African energy crisis is complex and deeply intertwined with economic, political, and infrastructural issues. The government, led by Ramaphosa and the ANC, has faced criticism not just for power outages but for failing to implement effective reforms quickly enough. Corruption scandals and political infighting have hampered progress, making it difficult to resolve the crisis in the short term. Malema's critique thus serves a dual purpose. It rallies his political base by highlighting the failures of the current leadership, while also putting pressure on the ruling party as the country approaches national and local elections. It's a reminder that energy is not just a technical service but a powerful political issue that can sway public opinion and votes. In addition to promising free electricity for the poor, the EFF's push for renewable energy aligns with global trends towards sustainability and environmental responsibility. South Africa, with its abundant sunshine, is well positioned to harness solar power on a large scale, which could reduce dependence on coal-fired power stations and cut down on emissions. For rural communities, off-grid solar systems offer a lifeline, providing consistent power without the need for expensive and unreliable infrastructure. Yet, transitioning to renewable energy and nationalizing Eskom requires careful planning, significant investment, and political will. The debate over how to fix South Africa's energy woes is ongoing, and Malema's speech adds fuel to the fire by demanding immediate and radical change. This conversation is critical for South Africans everywhere because reliable electricity affects every aspect of life, from education and healthcare to business and everyday household activities. When power cuts disrupt schools, children's learning suffers. When clinics can't operate machines or preserve vaccines due to outages, health outcomes decline. Small businesses lose income, and families struggle to cook and stay warm. The energy crisis is not just about lights flickering off, it's about the quality of life for millions of people. So, what's next? The EFF's message puts the spotlight firmly on the ruling party and President Ramaphosa. The question is whether the government can respond with the urgency and effectiveness that South Africans demand. Can they implement reforms that stabilize Eskom and improve the power supply? Will they address the inequalities in access to electricity? These are questions that will be answered in the coming months, especially as the election season heats up. For now, Julius Malema's speech serves as a powerful reminder that leadership and service delivery are inseparable. The people expect dependable leadership that does not disappear like the country's power supply during load shedding. His call for free electricity for pensioners and the poor highlights the urgent need for policies that protect the most vulnerable. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more political news updates, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Malema's promises? Do you believe free electricity for the poor is achievable? Let us know your views. See you next time.